Hey, welcome in, guys. Still got a little Sebring in the background, I see. That's fun. That's fun. Let's see if we can turn Sebring off. Go. There we go. Sorry about that. Got to work on that. Bad streamer. All right, so I'm going to start live streaming a few things. My kind of like what I do during my downtime. I'm in early work, coffee, and my little cool camera lens mug. So episode 8's pretty much in the can as far as filming. I've done the A roll with the voiceover. I've done a lot of the B roll, volunteered by my awesome students, and so that's kind of where we are as far as where we're going to go. We're going to set up the editing. We're going to bring everything in today, get as far as we can in the time we've got. So yeah, let's start getting off of this ugly infiniting screen. Some of you may like it, like that. And let me pop over to display, and there we go. That's better. That's better right there. So right here we've got the timeline. Of course, if you're familiar with Premiere Pro, you got the source monitor, program monitor, the timeline sequence, and you got the effects. I'll cover myself up down here for a little while. If I need to move that, I'll move it. But that's pretty much it. We're going to bring in some stuff here. We got the B-roll already in here. And I need to import the A-roll. I've been starting to call it A-roll. A-roll voiceover, we're going to import that folder. And that's going to take a bit. That's about a 10-minute long. And we're also going to import the audio, because we record our audio separately. We do record it on the camera. We use a Sony A4 or A7 IV. We record on camera with just the internal mic. We do have the Sony hot shoe mic, but with the teleprompter it doesn't fit like I like it. So we also record on a separate recorder into a condenser mic. It gives us usually a little better audio. But today with the enhanced audio version of Premiere Pro, a lot of that can be fixed fairly simple once you get the audio in. So we're going to start by editing this. We're going to bring this in. It's going to take it a minute. There's our wonderful studio background. You'll see me in and out here, trying to set up lighting and doing all that. There we go. We're talking now. So it's kind of a darker shot. I was going for a little different mood this time. Changing lighting up is one of the things I'm dabbling with until I find a consistent look that I like and that kind of works for us. So there's that. Let's bring in the audio, see if we can get it matched. So I got to zoom in on my timeline. We do have a spike down here. Looks like we're kind of close there. Double click this and this, see if I can find the spikes. There's the spikes. Not far off. We're going to try to, I use the kind of like the spikes from the video audio and the audio, if I want to call it that. I'm going to do a little alt. We're going to key over, and then we're going to use our visual here. So we got a hard close there, or open there, hard close there. So I'm still a little off on this audio. I'm going to back it up to where, yeah, it disappears. So right here, you see how that line disappeared and this line disappeared? Our audio ought to be synced now. Okay, we're off a little bit. So yeah, we're off just a hair. You can hear the you know. Oops, I gotta hit the frame. So let's zoom in here a little bit. See if we can figure out why. There we go. See right there? So we use Alt and the arrow key. We can back it up to right about there. We got a little bit of an echo. Let's try moving it this way a little bit, see if this works. Nope. Go the other way. So our audio is pretty close there. My lips match the audio that comes out, so that's how we do that. In the big time studios, they would have a slate, as my kids call the clapper. So I'm going to match the start up here so we know we're synced at the start. So yeah, you hit the play there. I'm going with a little bit of the orange highlight here. And the darker look, the less of the key light. The fill light's an orange LED neon. Okay, so we want to get to me rubbing my nose. Okay, so I kicked the audio off there. You see the difference in the audio. You know, that's the camera audio. This is the condenser mic into the audio recorder. Okay, so I gotta, you're gonna see a lot of that. So I'm gonna cut the first part out here. We're gonna do this, and well, let's see. First off, let's do this. Let's unlink this audio, and we're gonna get rid of that, and we're gonna get rid of that, and we're gonna get rid of this because we already done that, and we're going to get rid of that. And now I'm gonna push this audio up, control them, and we're gonna link those. So now they're all one. We can slide it back. Now we got a better starting point. Except I can't use the audio. Oh, we just lost our LED. Welcome to that. Yeah, I'm a little, it's early in the morning, so I was a little hot mouth. This is a voiceover part, so I'm not on camera here with it. We'll have some B-roll covering it. Little hook. Okay, we're going to cut back. We're going to clip this. Get rid of that. I'll leave a little gap in there so I know there's a cut. Okay, so I'm telling myself, give me a little direction there. I'm a little squished in the video here. I need to figure that out. That's an OBS thing. Okay, so we're going to cut there. Should use my hotkey. There we go. We're going to go back to there. Hotkey that. V is your hotkey, and then we're going to go to the next one. Bring it on. Okay, C, there, there's my R2 phone. We're going to slide you back. We're going to go to the next one. I'll do that one again. Okay, so that was a good take. I probably should have reshot that. I don't like the way I finished there, but I got what I got right now. Kind of like, that's a little awkward. I'm going to be stuck with it for now unless I want to go to a reshoot. And that's, I should have caught that in the editing, or in the shooting part. Going to part 2 here. Okay, So I'm a little robotic there. I don't like that. I got to work on my on-camera presence a little bit. But yeah, you get the point there. Let me see, we got day one here. Okay, so you're going to see some bloopers here. You're going to see some cuts. Sometimes I'm right on my cuts. Sometimes I'm right on my takes. Sometimes I'm not. Okay, so we got a cut there. I'm shooting these by myself in the studio. Like I said, I don't know that I like it now that I look at it. It's a little dark, but I'm going to go with it and see what it does. I think I reshot all these. I don't like the way. So this is where I'll do a B-roll or an overlay graphic, kind of giving you know, some visual to it. You know, it won't be me on camera. If I didn't reshoot these, I don't remember. Okay, so I think I used that cut. For some reason, I thought I made another cut there, or another shot there, but I guess I didn't. I'm a little, I don't know, like I said, I'm a little worried. I've never done one this early in the morning, so that's a difference. Can't talk, so we're gonna go back to that. Cut that out. Sorry about that. So we're going to cut there and bring that down. And we're going to talk to myself here. Okay, so we did get a cut there. I wish I'd give myself a little more lead time before I gave myself direction there. That helps with the cut and the angle. So let me check something real quick. OBS is giving me I'm getting a little bit of kickback on YouTube. I may or may not be able to change this. We'll see. Let's see if the YouTube likes that a little better. My bit rate was a little high. You might be seeing some lagging or some buffering because of that. See if I went to station 2 again here. Okay. More lead time here. I gotta work on that. I think I'm done with that part. So I'm going to cut back to here, see if that's where I did. I'm pretty sure I probably should reshot that. Okay, so let's find out where I started here. So I got to go to the voiceover on my script. I'll fix that here in a second. Let's find out where I ended there. So right about there is where I want to end that. We'll clean this up later if the audio is not perfect. I'm a little choppy there. I had a little quiver in my voice. I don't know why. Got my little good mic. Okay, so a little hard cut there on the shot. I'm not exactly happy with that, but it's what we got right now. It'll serve its purpose. So we're going into segment 4 here. Let's see if we jump down here. Okay. Okay, so we got to the questions here. We gotta watch this to see how I did this. So I did a cut, running the teleprompter, doing all this by myself. Sometimes a little difficult. Okay, so right here's where we want to start. We want to cut all that. Got a little bit of a break. I'm going to bring in some graphics over the top of this. And I'll probably break these down, questions, like give a graphic on each question, little lead time, and I can adjust these later. So I'm going to cut this, and I might subcut this already. Let's see. Okay, so we got reflection time there. Now we want to zoom in and probably cut between each question, just so I can manage the lead time for each question or the lag time for each question, depending on what I need for the graphic. We want to make sure the graphic is readable, that we have time, you know, we're setting that up. So each one of these will be a separate question, but I kind of put them together so I know that they go together. Okay. And I think that's a good take for us. We're going to move on. So right here, let's close that down. So we're going to take that to right here, slam it down. So we're probably right here. So that looks like a clean cut there. Take that out, clean it up. Big finish, bada bing. Okay, so yeah, we want to drag that in, and what did I do that for? Oh, great. Control Z that, Control Z that. We got a problem here because we didn't finish the ending here. So I got to cut that right there. That'll take care of that. Yeah, I didn't match the end. I matched the start, but not the end, and that creates a problem because when you drag the clip, you drag the whole thing. So now I know I've got all of these clips and all of those clips, and you know, now we would go to like go through, and we're going to possibly look at the B-roll and see what we need over the top. I'm going to kind of do that in the next live stream, where we add the B-roll, add the intro, add the outro. This was just a typical like A-roll voiceover primary footage edit. So I've got the raw edit here and all the clips. So I'm, you know, if I take it all out, I'm probably looking at maybe 3.5, 4 minutes of a clip here. There's no grading on this yet. I did not overexpose it. I should have probably. Dealing with a different lens, so it helps me with the focus a little bit since I'm shooting myself. The Rokinon lens I have has an autofocus that tracks your eyes and your head. It's really good for things like this, but in that same respect, it creates some issues with overexposure. The prime lenses I use, they don't autofocus. Everything's manual on them, which is better for your focus, for this, that, but when you're moving in and out, when you're having to make changes, it's a little difficult. And I'm still learning that process. Everything's a learning thing with me right now. So yeah, right here we have the general idea of what the video is going to look like, the bones of it, I would call it. This is the bones of the video, the primary footage. If I go in here and I look at the B-roll, I've got a lot of B-roll up here. I have the proxy set up if I want them, but you know, so you know, you got me standing there kind of setting up the shoot. You know, I got students in the room. I'll be kind of teaching through them in a little bit. We just got to go through and decide what B-roll we're going to use for this project. I've got the shots from the shot list. I just don't have them there. There's old John. We're trying to set this up, and you've got me kind of giving a little mock demo here. It is staged. I'm not gonna lie there. It's most of the B-roll is staged with the students' approval. You know, if this thing ever makes money, I'll give them a $5 on the backside of it. But we're not monetized, so this is more for just the educational purposes of the world. We're educating the world here, so to speak, and helping teachers kind of like, how do you do this in class? This doesn't just apply to AV production. This can be done in any class where you have access to a camera, any class where you have access to the internet and some basic editing software. There's a lot of freebies out there right now. The best freebie would probably be, DaVinci. They, primarily known as the color grading software, but their editing is getting stronger every day, and so that kind of gives you some options as far as that goes. There's some, Filmora. There's a lot of online editors. iMovie, if you're in the iPhone. If you shoot on iPhone, download iMovie, keep it free. You can edit little clips like this and kind of, share your message with the world, whether you're a teacher, whether you're a YouTuber, Twitch person, whatever. So yeah, that's kind of where we're going with this. This series, this live stream series, is just going to see behind the, kind of behind the lens, what's on the other side of the camera, what's in the post-production part of this. The post-production is what I like the most. I enjoy the most. I'm not great on camera, I don't think, I'm learning to be great. I got my mouth open a lot in these still shots. Way there we go. So yeah, when you freeze these are hilarious. I love doing this. My students love doing this too when they find the video of me in the shared files. They like to freeze frame and capture things. If you know, got any questions, comments, feel free to drop them in the comment section. And if you're going to see anything upcoming, if you want to see me do anything outside the ordinary, I'm not that exciting, I don't believe. You know, I just try to do my job. This is more for posterity and, you know, share my knowledge with the world. You know, what little bit I have of that. Anyway, that's going to wrap this live session up, and we will probably kind of come back tomorrow and see what we got there. And we'll see you on the flip side then.